You want to log in?
If you want, you should be able to do it from yours because you're doing it on the business one.
Oh, it's because I'm not logged in at all.
I think I'll see if I know.
All right, hold on. Let me pause this. Let's jump back on this. All right. So we're just fixing some stuff for the Instagram. For the Instagram live, those of you who are listening, Monday, it's all right. You're not missing, much of anything. The Instagram live is just what it is. It's Instagram live. You get the show a whole day before, but don't worry, you're not missing anything. We usually kind of talk about, what topic are we going to talk about? We don't necessarily go into super depth because we want like the fresh ideas. And this time I just call my brother over, hey, shoot through. And since it is Monday, it is the end of October. I kind of wanted to do like a Dia De Los Muertos thing, right? So usually Dia De Los Muertos, you honor people you've lost, right? You honor those not necessarily that are completely gone. I don't really know. All I know is what I know from Coco. And it's that it's a day of remembrance of people that you've lost, and they're not necessarily gone. They're just in the afterlife. They're partying it up with everybody else. But we remember them. And I didn't want to get too personal or anything. I wanted to do a day of remembrance of the automotive industry where I've been influenced or where you've been influenced. And one of the big ones that we lost this past year, and I know you guys could be all like, oh my God, is you don't even know that person, but Ken Block. Ken Block was a big inspiration in the automotive industry, not just for me, but for millions and tons and thousands of people. If you guys don't know who Ken Block is, he was a rally car driver. He was actually, I believe, the co-founder of DC Shoes, and the co-founder of Hoonigan. If you don't know who Hoonigan is, you can look them up. But what Ken Block did for the automotive industry, as well as like rallycross, it's crazy. Again, he started DC Shoes, and the reason from what I remember, the reason he did that was because he just wanted something, and then he wants, like, after that, he was like, I want to race cars. And he started doing that and pretty much bet on himself. He wasn't necessarily taught or anything. He kind of just went for it and ended up being one of the biggest guys out there. You think of him, you think of Travis Pastrana, Nitro Circus, and well, Ken Block is a big part of that. He didn't necessarily have his own show, but once he started Hoonigan and Brian Scotto got into it and they started doing those Gymkhana videos, that's where it blew up.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you remember, one of the big ones was Gymkhana 7, where he brought out that 65 Ford Mustang with 700 horsepower, all-wheel drive. And it was Gymkhana 7 running wild in the streets of Los Angeles, which is cool because you see the 4th Street Bridge, you see crazy. The LA River before all the renovations. That's the first one I seen.
That's when I seen. I was like, I think you sent it. You showed it to me, and I was like, "Who's this?" You're like, "It's Ken Block," and I was like, "Yo,
this guy's crazy."
He's doing donuts around cop cars, going through the bridge, under the bridge, LA River.
He did that donut under the lowrider. I don't know if you remember that.
Lowrider was bouncing up and down. He did a donut under the car.
But Dia De Los Muertos. It's a day to remember, and I personally wanted to remember him. Like I said, he was part of Hoonigan, part of DC Shoes. I believe in like Gymkhana 4 or 5 when he was still with Subaru, or when he was first with Subaru, when he had the Impreza, he actually did one with Rob Dyrdek. And if you guys remember that episode, they actually did the episode on Rob and Big, and they had Ken in his WRX, and then they had Rob Dyrdek in the little one, like a little go-kart, and they had them both like sliding together. And I know him and Rob were really close. And when I got my first car, my Fiesta ST, it was because of that. I was like, oh dude, he rally cars a Fiesta ST. And again, of course it's souped up and stuff, but at the end of the day, they started off with the Fiesta ST, and then they built it up to a WRC car. And it is a big, he was a big inspiration for me. I mean, I started buying Hoonigan stuff because of that. I was like, oh, this is cool. You get into Ken Block, and then you get into Brian Scotto and Hurt and Micah and all those, the OGs and stuff. And ironically, they were actually based out of Boyle Heights when they first started. So Hoonigan was in Boyle Heights, and then they moved to Long Beach, and now they're in Compton. And I just wanted to kind of bring up other people, like who do you think someone famous. Doesn't necessarily have to be in the automotive industry, but that was my thing. But someone like kind of you would remember that has passed away, and you're like, oh, you know what? I wouldn't want people to forget this guy because he's a good person. Or
honestly, I don't want to sound like a dick, but I don't think I know or I don't follow a celebrity.
Like, that makes sense too.
But I was gonna say it's just crazy how is this people that we've never met, we've never seen him.
Yeah.
He has no idea who we are.
No.
But just from watching his videos, his posts, he's so Ken Block was so appreciative of his fans. Like he knew the influence he had on people, and he didn't use that against them.
Oh no,
he wasn't
never.
like, like don't talk to me. Like he didn't forget where he came from. He knew that at one point he was watching maybe F1 drivers, rally car drivers, these supercar drivers, and be like, damn, that's cool. I'm gonna be that, and he became that. And then he's remembering like, oh, when I was little. People used to look, when I was little, I used to look up to those drivers. Now, for sure, I got these young kids looking up to me and adults like us looking up to me.
Yeah, seriously.
So it wasn't like, he didn't let the fame get to his head. He was, from the video I seen, he was so humble. He was a family man. His daughter drives his car now. Yeah. His daughter's a rally car driver for his, using his car now under his company. So it was like, it's just cool to think that because of that kind of gave you the extra push to do what you want to do. Yeah. That push you give you a little kick to, because like we talked about it before, you've been wanting to do what you want to do for the longest time, but it was because of like Richard Rawlings, Ken Block, Donut Media. You watch shit like that, and I was like, damn, that's cool. And then we get started like they're doing it, why can't we do it? Yeah, and you're like, well, I'm gonna do it, and you went to school and you're doing it. Yeah,
because you think about it too, all these different media outlets like Donut. He said, like my brother said, Donut, Richard Rawlings. Even Hoonigan, like we said, they started off in Boyle Heights. Donut Media, if you look at their first videos, they're like in a little studio building, and now they have garages and stuff. And the same thing with Hoonigan. Even when they moved to Long Beach, I don't want to like belittle them or anything, but it wasn't that necessarily big of a warehouse like they have now in Compton. It's a whole compound and stuff, and it is inspirational because you see that and you're like, damn. Because for one, you see all the cool stuff that they're working on, and you're like, that's all they do all day. And to a certain point, it is, because they're car enthusiasts, but every person has a job title. So like Brian Scotto, he wrote for Drive magazine, I think, or he had his own like car magazine. So he did that, and then he continued to do that with Hoonigan. But throughout the day, they would work, on a desk for, I don't know, probably half the day, and then after that, they're like, all right, let's go rip some cars outside. Let's go work on this and that. And that's kind of where Ken Block came from too. You watch all the documentaries, you watch all the Gymkhanas. One of the best ones you could watch, is on Amazon, The Making of Gymkhana 10. You see the behind the scenes, because when you see these Gymkhana videos, you're just like, oh, dude, he's just ripping around, he's having fun, this, that, and the other. But you go into how much of a perfectionist he was. Yeah, it's just cars swinging around or drifting or coming back and forth. But when you see how pissed he gets when he's like, I could get closer to that, to that freaking, that pillar. I could almost taste it. Just let me do it. And he's going over and over, and he's just getting mad. And they're like, hey, we're running out of sunlight. It's about to start raining. We got to get this now. And then you see that he gets the shot, and you're just like, damn, that's crazy.
Passionate. It just shows how passionate they are.
Exactly. And that's how passionate I would like to be about this. That's how passionate we want to be about, our businesses, whether it's car detailing or building cars or this podcast. And for us to, in a week long or a month long, thing of remembrance of people, that's one guy that I hope people don't forget. And I don't think they ever will, honestly, because, it's KB43 forever.
Even if you weren't into cars, that dude was everywhere.
Yeah. Because even then, it's like he was sponsored by Monster. He was a Ford driver for the longest. And then at the time of his passing, he was back with Subaru. And then he had they had the Hoonipegasus, which was that Porsche that he wanted to drive in Pikes Peak, that pink one. I know everybody's seen it. Damn, Mustang. And he left a big mark in the automotive industry. Like I said, people weren't doing that. They weren't like, oh, who's this guy? A shoe company? And he's driving? Like, who the hell is this dude?
And it wasn't even like you said, it was a rally. He was driving rally cars. Yeah. The Fiesta. But then when he built that Mustang around the city, the driving around the city, that was the one where it was like, dude.
Yeah, they're doing something.
Do that?
Yeah,
like,
you're cooking something.
It was crazy. 700 horsepower, like you said. It was just souped up. And
yeah.
Like, you seen it and you're like, I didn't even know this was possible. That's the way I felt when I was watching. Like, dude, look at this dude. Yeah. Look at this one pulling the clutch. Look at him, like ripping it. And I was like, you can do that in a car like that, and he did it.
And he made it possible because I think that video came out when I was like in high school. I was probably like a freshman or a sophomore.
Yeah,
I think so.
Like a senior.
Still wasn't too into cars. We were into cars, but it wasn't like how we are now. And yeah, like you said, like to see that happening, to see him whipping it around, all the drifting, all four wheels going, all the smoke that's popping, and it's just like
it was crazy.
You could do that with a Mustang, and obviously a lot of engineering goes into it, but it's crazy. And then he kept going, and you see the other cars, and then even the time of his passing, there was so many people that were like, I remember when Hoonigan posted it because it was like a what are those things called that you do? The snowmobile accident. And Hoonigan posted like, yeah, like we are saddened to say that he did pass, like this happened, like, keep his family in your prayers. We're going to take some time off. And then after that, you start seeing everybody post. If you followed Richard Rawlings or Gas Monkey Garage, he posted something. You follow Aaron Kaufman, he posted something. Travis Pastrana, Donut Media, everybody was just like, we're saddened. This and that. Like people took it pretty hard. And even if you go to like that next YouTube video that Hoonigan posted, and they're talking to Brian, there's a bunch of guys that were like, I didn't necessarily know him on a friendship basis, but when he came down to Hoonigan, he always made me feel like he made everybody feel like they're of great importance. Like everybody was a CEO, like an executive.
He didn't forget where he came from. He was like, we all work together.
Yeah,
you guys helped me get here, and we're all at the same level.
Yeah,
and it's like I'm not gonna treat you any less or any different because all you do is paperwork. Because I feel like he was like, oh, you did the paperwork? Without that paperwork, I wouldn't be where I'm at. Oh, you did this? I couldn't do that. You rotate my tires? If you don't rotate my tires, I can't do this. Oh, you fix the AC in my car? I can't do
Yeah.
So he knew like it took a whole, it wasn't just him. He didn't just go in there by himself and build a car by himself.
No.
Start racing by himself. If you watch NASCAR F1, they all have a team. They have the pit crew. So he knew what he had, and he didn't take it for granted.
Yeah. He was a good guy. And I mean, just for everybody else too. Again, we don't necessarily know Dia De Los Muertos. I'm sure there's a whole bigger meaning, because I know there's like a day where you celebrate your loved ones, and then you can celebrate. I think there's a whole day for babies, kids, and then there's a whole day for pets and stuff. So we don't cover all that. We're sorry, but just like everybody else, we've all lost someone, and I hope this kind of helps, because it's cool too. The whole thing, you leave like treats that they would like. So it's cool if you guys are making your altar like we are this weekend. You guys are not alone, and remember, it's a day of remembrance. Don't it's always sad to think of loved ones, but don't let it go too far. But yeah, we just wanted to. And then another one too, I mean, I guess since we have the GTR down here,
Paul Walker.
Can't forget Paul Walker. You know what's crazy? I always thought it was funny. He was in every like Fast and the Furious. Obviously, he made the GTR famous. Not famous, but he brought popularity to the GTR, the Supra, and all that, all the JDM classics and stuff. Dude had like the biggest collection of like BMWs and Mustangs, and you would always see him, driving in those. And he did like the JDM, but even that too, even in his passing, he was in a Porsche, which is not necessarily ironic, but it's funny that he played this character that was all puro JDM, and then
it's funny to think too how he, like, you look at all the Fast and Furious movies, and you're like, oh, he made movies about driving cars and building cars, but he lived it. He wasn't just like, oh, I'm just an actor, I really don't know anything about cars. Like, this dude was building cars himself and doing stuff like that. Like,
he was in it.
He was into that stuff, and I thought that was pretty cool. So,
yeah, shout out to him too. Everybody, anytime you bring up Paul Walker around mechanics, car guys, like, it just hits another note, because it's just like
it's another one of those guys that like, oh, that's the reason I like this Type R. That's another reason I like this GTR.
Like, it's the whole movie series, but at the end of the day, you either want to be Dominic Toretto or you want to be Brian O'Connor. And
you want the muscle or you want the JDM?
Yeah, you want the JDM, because but those. It's crazy. It's crazy to think that someone like you said, we don't know, we've never talked to, we've only seen in movies, videos, and stuff like that, and it just plays a big part of your life. It's a big influence, and like we said, Day of the Dead. We want to remember all of them, and shout out to that. Shout out to the automotive industry and all that. Yeah, we didn't really have a topic coming in today. I kind of just want to do it. Before we move on to anything else, the classic was this past Friday.
I was about to say, I see Julian watching. Shout out to Julian, man.
Shout out to Julian.
That old line. We saw you putting in work.
Played his heart out. Shout out to all those kids, really. The East LA Classic, if you don't know, it's one of the biggest rivalries on the West Coast, Garfield and Roosevelt, if you don't live in the East LA area. And it didn't go the way we would have liked it to go. And I'm sure the kids didn't want it to go that way either, but it's all good.
Overall, it's a great experience for the players.
Yeah. It really is, because then you don't see how big it is when you're on the outside looking in, all that pressure that can get to you and you know. So
it was a college atmosphere game for a high school.
Yeah,
you got high school kids that are no older than 17, 18 years old, and they're going to experience that. Because when we talked about it when we were giving the stuff out, we don't want to sound like assholes or put anybody down, but statistically, less than 1% of high school players go on to play college ball.
Yeah, it's not.
And less than 1% of those players go on to play in the NFL.
Yeah.
So we told the kids. Well, when I went, I was telling them, like, after this season, after they have playoffs next week.
Yeah.
But after the playoffs and stuff, you know, like, that's it.
Yeah, a lot of them aren't gonna.
A lot of you are not gonna play.
Yeah, because
it's not because you're not good enough or because you suck or you don't know what you're doing. It's just shit happens, bro. You gotta go to school in the classes you want to take, interfere with the football practice, or maybe you have to work because you gotta support, help your parents out, or you know, whatever. It sucks, but it's just like, just enjoy it. Win or lose, you gotta enjoy it.
Yeah,
and that's what Mad Dog Juan was telling us that he told his nephew. He was like, dude, just enjoy it. Oh, it came out in the interview. Yeah. I think Nacho's uncle said that he told Nacho's little brother, like, dude, just enjoy it, bro. Like, win or lose, the score doesn't reflect on it doesn't reflect on how you played. It's like just enjoy it, live in the moment. Like, you're in the East LA Classic. There's no other high school game. There's literally no other game like this one. Like, just enjoy it, live in the moment.
Yeah, because even when you move on and if you do play college ball, if you go on to the NFL, you're kind of representing yourself individually, right? Because when you go on to college, yes, you're playing for the team, you're playing for that little, the college, but when you're at the East LA Classic, you're playing for the whole community.
You're playing for the city,
the people that have suited up before you, the alumni, all that. And you could say that for any level, but there's something about in this level, in this quote unquote small scale, where they're kids. A bunch of them. I mean, if you're a sophomore playing in varsity, you're 15, 16,
15 years old.
And yeah, I mean, they did a good job. Again, there's always going to be people talking crap on the outside looking in. On when I posted everything, there was a couple people that were like, "Oh yeah, and who won?" And it's like, doesn't really matter. I'm just posting this, like, it's fine. I'm not gonna take it personal. Some people were commenting like, "Oh, like the dude's telling these stories. Like, I bet they go to the bar every week and they tell him." And it's like, no, it's just this is a special game for people to come back. So
and again, all those people commenting are the ones that never played. So.
Yeah, exactly. So I didn't take it personal, but it's just, if you're on the outside looking in, that game, it's a big deal. And shout out to all the coaches, the staff, the football team, that school, both schools, because we even have, when we played, our coaches are now on Garfield, and so I mean, just shout out to them.
Yeah, and thanks to everybody that let us interview them, because most of them, well, they were all our friends. We all played with them, but it was always like, we seen them like, hey, come over, we want to ask you a question. None of them were like, nah, we don't want to do it. So it was a big help, Yeah. You didn't have to do it. They took time away from watching the game.
Yeah.
Or we caught them before they were going to go sit down.
To get it done.
And they let us do it. So that's cool. So thanks to all you guys everybody that saw the videos already, the little interviews.
Yeah.
Thanks to them.
But yeah, so thanks to everybody. And then whoever bought a shirt too, because without that, we wouldn't have been able to give back. We wouldn't have been able to give the towels and the headbands, and the kids seemed to like them. And it was pretty cool that we were able to represent ourselves and help the kids look good on the field. I don't know if that makes sense. But next topic, since this does drop on Monday, we're on Sunday right now. SEMA.
Ooh.
SEMA is November 3rd through, I think, 5th, whatever Sunday is.
Yeah, 5th.
And I believe this year is the first year where you could buy tickets to go to SEMA. And So what SEMA is, it's a big car show. They do it in Vegas, but what it is, it's technologies and different things that are up and coming. So if you think of the LA Auto Show, you see a bunch of concept cars, and it's like, we're in the year 2023. You'll see a bunch of cars that are like 2025. This is what it's going to look like. And that's what SEMA is. But SEMA isn't necessarily cars. It's like automotive technology. Yeah. So you'll see like K&N's going to be there. KW suspension.
I was going to say suspensions, brake systems, engines, intakes. Yeah, it's not necessarily a built car. It's car parts. Like, hey, look, you could put this and this.
And so if you follow that, you follow like TJ Hunt and a bunch of other of these YouTubers, car YouTubers, you'll see that. I mean, that too, I always wondered, like, why do they always wait till last minute, but then it doesn't make good content if they're not stressed out and like, we got to do this in a week. But anyways, so this year, I believe, is the first year where you can go and buy a ticket to the event. I don't think it's necessarily for like the main stage or the main thing, but you can go, you buy a ticket, and you walk around and you see everything that's going on. Me personally, I'm looking for the Street Hunter kit because I myself own the 2019 Toyota 86, and they're gonna have their wide body kits, and I think they're gonna have different fender replacements. But God, it's just it's crazy because that's another one of the goals. If we could get into that show for something, I don't know, even if we could just go to interview or do like a live podcast, we just want to
fucking be there.
We just want to be there because you see a whole bunch of stuff. Like we said, it's new technology. You see wide body kits, you see new paint, the wrap, everything. Then it's crazy. It's a whole week. It's honestly a gearhead's dream to be at SEMA, and it's happening. It's going down this week. So if anybody out there is gonna be at SEMA, definitely hit us up. Take pictures. Yeah, we would like to see. Maybe we could have like a call next week or something, and then we could talk about that too. We can interview you about SEMA, but I don't know. Well, if you guys want to leave in the comments, what would you like to see in SEMA? There's also the LA Auto Show coming up.
Oh,
that's in November.
That's coming up in like
like the
weeks.
11th or something like that, the 17th. So there's a lot of car stuff going down. I think like 2 weeks ago it was Week Fest in LA. They did that in LA in the convention center as well. So there's a lot of car things going on right now, which is kind of funny. You would think majority of the stuff goes down in summer, but who wants to be in Vegas during the summer?
I don't know.
So SEMA's going down. Yeah, I don't know. I want to see the Street Hunter kits. K&N has been promoting like, the new something, like wait till you see it. And I think even McGuire's is like, they've been posting stuff like,
you sent me those videos.
Like wait for it. They're cooking up new formulas. So it's not even. It's just there's so much going on. So I'm hoping
cars in general.
I'm hoping by next podcast episode we have a lot to talk about. We'll go over like different things that I've seen on Instagram and stuff, and that my brother has seen, and we can talk about like, our favorite, I don't know, product or what we thought was the coolest thing to see out there. But also, speaking of the LA Auto Show, we went like 3 years ago.
Those are 3.
2, 3. Yeah, we are planning. We want to do kind of like another giveaway, obviously, but we want to do one of those VIP tours. So we don't know necessarily what the giveaways, like the intel for it, is going to be. But we had been talking about it, and my brother brought up, like, wow, this is a while ago. And he thought about, okay, well, if we're going to do something, why don't we do one of those VIP tours? And then they come with us. Like, we have 2 other tickets, and you guys win them, and then you guys come hang out with us at the LA Auto Show. And I thought that was a good idea. So we're probably going to be doing that sometime soon.
The catch is you have to hang out with us. So
you can't leave. You can't abandon us. You got to be there with us. We're going to hang out the whole time. But, yeah, and the LA Auto Show is fun. The last time we were there, I think it was...
Ken Block's car was there.
Yeah, his the Ford.
That's really all we wanted.
RS200. Yeah, the Hoonigans had a bunch of cars there.
The Hoonigan showroom.
Yeah, they were part of Galpin Ford. Then what else? We saw like the Kia Stinger GT. I think it was the first.
Last time we went was when the Chevy SS came out.
Yes,
we sat in it and we're like, "Holy shit, this is a badass car!"
It's a badass car. And then my car was there too.
Yeah,
and not even knowing, I remember because there was a little girl just shifting all the gears, and I was like, oh damn.
I sat at a Challenger, and that's when I was like, damn, I want a Challenger.
Yeah, those are freaking sick.
We sat in the Challenger. We sat in that new Navigator too.
Oh, those Lincoln Navigator, and these. Okay, and you got to think about it. When it's the LA Auto Show, they're promoting their cars. All these automotive manufacturers are promoting their new cars. It's not the base model. So when we got in this Lincoln Navigator, like every seat was like massaged up. You had freaking TVs on every headrest, all the freaking lights, all the little LED lights on the floor.
And there was people cool. signing up to buy the car there too.
Yeah, they were talking to executives or salesmen or whatever, and they were
signing paperwork
crazy.
there, so that when the car comes out, like
they're to get allocated. Like, all right, we'll be put on the wait list as like the dang Cybertruck or something.
It's cool because it's not just it's not just like all these supercars or souped up cars. They have regular cars. They have there's minivans there.
Yeah, there's everyday.
There's SUVs, and those are pretty cool too. Yeah. I think there was one that it wasn't a snowplow, but it had like tractor tires.
Oh yeah,
and I don't know what they use it for, but it was way over the top. But it was cool. It was like a converted Chevy. It was like a converted pickup truck.
Yeah,
and I was like, that's fucking cool.
Yeah, because like you said, it's like I think they still had Corollas there. They had like the Bugs there.
The hatchback Corolla they had.
Yeah,
that's when it really coming out.
They had like what Chevy is it? Oh, it's the little one. Anyways, yeah, it was like a Chevy Cruze RS, and it's a good time, honestly. They even let you drive. I know Toyota lets you drive their trucks, and they throw you on an obstacle course where you can see like the bumps, and so we're planning on doing that. It'd be nice. It'd be fun, and we will keep everybody posted about that. But LA Auto Show. If you don't win it, definitely go.
Try to go. It's not expensive. No, it's like $20 a ticket.
Tickets are like $20.
And then like they don't have no. Oh, if you get the cheapest ticket, you can't do this. You can't do that.
No,
you can go around the whole convention and you see everything.
Yeah, see everything.
If you want to test drive a car, then you got to buy a ticket for that. Or if you want an actual tour guide with you to explain all the cars, but you don't need that because at every car they have a little post and
not even that. There's people there. You can talk to them like, oh, what's going on with this? The one they do have like sim racing too, like in the main floor. I don't know if you remember.
I remember. It was cool.
And I think you win a prize
for the best time.
The best time, yeah.
Yeah, it was cool.
John Chevy 5451. What the hell on the dash? Stupid. The T-Pain Chevy 54 in the hood. 120. Speaking of T-Pain, he signed that guy Hurt from Hoonigan, and T-Pain has his own like car thing now. How can I say it? Yeah, like his own automotive,
like a
company. Yeah.
I didn't know
because T-Pain drifts, and then T-Pain drifts. He's pretty good at it, and he has all the money, more money than these normal guys, So he does that, and then I don't know what happened. I think him and that guy Hurt just like were at the same event or something, and they were talking. I think they might have been driving like the same car, and then like recently, like last week, that guy Hurt came out in his music video. It's called like the Blop or something. So they both drive rotary cars, so it sounds like blah 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 blah. And so that fool Hurt like dropped a couple bars, and it was like, what the hell? And then after that, he was like, yeah, I'm leaving Hoonigan. Like it's nothing bad. I'm really cool with them. Yeah, you see, he has a drift team. You're right, John. He has a drift team, and yeah, he was like, because I'm like CEO now of T-Pain's thing.
That's
like he's
crazy.
running it, which makes sense because he's done all this for Hoonigan and stuff. Yeah. So now he's like doing it on his own, and he's the boss man. And that's
funny.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. Yeah, T-Pain's doing it all after music. He's doing podcasts too. He's freaking on Twitch, and yeah, he has a drift team, and he's pretty good. And like I said, and he's actually into pretty cool cars. But yeah, LA Auto Show. It's gonna be cool. I believe it's like November 11th through like the 13th, 14th. It's a couple of days as well. It's in the LA Convention Center. It's huge. It's massive. If you guys could get tickets to that on your own, definitely I would recommend that. Even if you're not necessarily the biggest car enthusiast or anything, you just
look at the cars. Like we said, they don't have. It's on all like racing cars and souped-up cars. They have regular cars. They had the Camrys. They had the Corollas. They had the the RAV4s. The Dodge Caravan. The Navigators. Just go look at the damn cars for your family or for yourself.
Hang out. If it's cheap.
Yeah, get yourself a hot dog on your way out.
Yeah, there you go. Nappy Boy Automotive, which is a pretty cool name because it's he's Nappy Boy. So Nappy Boy Automotive, definitely go ahead and do that.
Over here googling this shit.
He's out here googling.
Also, the only reason why we can't do live podcasts, we want to do it, it's because the guy commenting over here waiting for his laptop to come back.
Our producer,
this freaking dinosaur over here.
Our producer doesn't have a laptop. But also, if anybody can help, he send it to Apple or something, and they said it's ancient,
and they don't know what to do because it's so old.
You call me Jamie. Yeah, Jamie without a laptop. He should be, but he's freaking. Anyways.
Speaking of car collectors, have you seen Gabriel Iglesias' Volkswagen buses
collection? I haven't seen all of them, but that dude's got an extensive collection.
When me and my girlfriend went to go see him and Dr. Shadem for when he was there.
Yeah, I forgot for the Netflix special.
Yeah, the Netflix special. He had. We didn't get there. If we would have known, I would have gone.
Yeah,
but before he was there, like 4 hours before the actual event started, the show started. And he had like 2 of his vans out there, the buses, the Volkswagen buses, and they like he was letting people like sit in them, and I was like, that's cool. Fucking dope.
Yeah,
but this dude has like a garage full of them.
I think he was on Joe Rogan not too long ago, and he said something like, "I pretty much own all of them at this point. I have so many."
Yeah, he was saying something like, "Oh, he's trying to like get into other cars because he's like, I have everything that you can imagine in Volkswagen."
And I think he has his museum in Long Beach, and you can go in there and check them all out. But yeah, that dude, because one time when I was still in school at ELAC, he did a show there, and I remember because it's the auditorium, and then there's like a driveway, because all through ELAC there has to be access into the campus for like the fire trucks and stuff like that. So it looks like just streets, like regular little paved roads. Yeah. And there's a little road in between the auditorium and the automotive shop. And we were walking because we were on break, and me and my friends, and then we're like, oh, damn, look at that van, like that VW bus. And then we pull up, and all in the back, all the rear window, the rear glass, it has just nothing but like fluffy stickers and like different. And we're like, oh, shit, it's him. Like, it's this dude. And well, we didn't catch him or anything, but yeah, it was nice. And yeah, that dude's got an extensive collection. And that too, cars. He just restores them. He restores a lot of them. I think he does like a couple, like the radio or something. I think he said like, oh yeah, I like to have that nice. But everything else, the engine, like it's still, and those things only go like they have like 50 horsepower. They don't even go fast. On Joe Rogan today,
he can't go on the freeway because they don't go over like 50 or 55 miles per hour.
All the heating issues is just gonna keep pumping.
I think they asked him like, oh, do you drive them? And he's like, kind of. It depends. Like, he's like, where I'm going, because if I have to go from Long Beach to downtown LA, or Long Beach to San Bernardino or something like that, he's like, I can't because I have to go on the street.
Yeah, it's gonna take way too long. The 30-minute
drive is gonna take me an hour and a half because my car doesn't go past 50.
Which that's just part of the game, dude.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind. I would be cruising.
Yeah, just straight chilling. That too, though. At least in Southern California, in Los Angeles, you could kind of cruise all year long. Like right now is the perfect time because you don't need an AC. It's cool. You just put the windows down and you'll be fine. And just keep going. But yeah, that dude, I wonder what it is too. I'm sure he talked about it. I don't remember, but like why that specific car? Like that's cool. Yeah, it's cool, but just to be on that specific car and that's it. Like that's pretty freaking crazy. I don't know, madman, but yeah, there's a lot of car stuff going on. It is Halloween. There's a bunch of trunk or treats. Shout out to our boy Alfaro.
My boy Grimace.
I don't know if you guys, those blow up costumes that like it's either a dinosaur. There's a little fan. Our boy Alfaro was Grimace because his trunk or treat was
like a McDonald's drive-through.
And when I tell you, my boy was getting it. My boy was getting it, dude. He posted the videos on his Instagram story. I wish he was on here right now
to defend
himself or to make the story better. But he was there like dancing, and again, it's those blow up costumes. So like think about it like a mascot costume. When you move, you're not necessarily moving. So Alfaro was moving, but the costume was just like
it was just bouncing up and down.
It was just bouncing, and it's just funny. But yeah, there's a lot of trunk or treats going down. That one was one of the best ones. If you guys want to send in if you guys are doing a trunk or treat and you guys want to send in your picture of your trunk or treat, we can kind of maybe do like a little raffle next week. We can see who has the best, and then we can like send them a shirt or something, because trunk or treats get pretty cool. I remember when you were still part of the car club with Berlin, you guys did one of those too, right? And you did like a Jack Skellington one or Night Before Christmas, and you went all out, the Funko Pops,
the little toys, the little mountain. I think Sada did the moon for me. I think she did.
Yeah.
And I had like fake snow.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
And it's cool. It's a cool concept to bring into things because there's always cars and coffee, on Sunday mornings or during the weekends. And to have a trunk or treat, you're just at a parking lot. The kids go around.
Take your car.
You see cool cars, and kids get candy. But this one with my boy Alfaro was a good one. That McDonald's one. He should have won the contest too. I don't know if you remember. He was saying like, oh, the person who was in charge of the contest gave the prize to her husband, and it's like, get out of here, dude. It's not even fair. Like this one was really good, and then the whole family was different McDonald's characters. So yeah, just again, if you want to DM us here on you could DM us on Instagram at The Heights Garage, or on TikTok at The Heights Garage, on Facebook at The Heights Garage. And if you want to email it with a little story or whatever, you can email us at theheightsgarage@gmail.com. No space or anything like that. And we would love to rate your guys' trunk or treats. It's a short one. Didn't really necessarily have that much of a topic, and we're just going to wait till the SEMA show happens so that way we have a lot more to talk about. Yeah, it's going to be hell of a lot better. But yeah, definitely send us your trunk or treats. We can actually go through them throughout the week, even up to before Halloween, maybe, Monday, Tuesday. We can repost your guys' trunk or treats if you want to send us something, and it should be fun. I wouldn't mind rating them and then sending you guys a shirt, whoever wins. That way it's a fair deal, and not like my boy Alfaro got gypped. But yeah, also Dia De Los Muertos, don't forget, your loved ones, the ones who have passed, they're never forgotten, all that good stuff. I don't want to sound too mean, but yeah, we've all lost somebody. Our family has lost plenty, and we're not going to forget them, and we're not going to forget anybody else. So if you guys want to send us your trunk or treat, just send us a trunk or treat, and we'll review it. But with that being said, that's all we've got for today. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Enjoy the rest of your week. Be safe out there, and as always, keep it Boyle Heights built.